Hello everybody and welcome to Alex Bites. I'm your host, Alex DeLenard. We are back with some more Supreme Commander Forge Alliance Forever. Today I've got for you a 1v1 ladder match between Taizan and JaggedAppliance on the map Ocil Wetlands. I'd like to give a quick apology to the fact that I have not been casting on a very regular schedule there. That is entirely just my bad, and I aim to fix that as time goes on and actually have a more regular casting schedule. But rest assured, I shall continue casting. If you are interested in having your replays casted, you think it's a game worthy of being shown to the world, then by all means feel free to send it to me. You can send the replay ID to me on this channel, on my Discord, on anything you like, or just send me an email on the channel email, which will be in the description as well, or just any way that you can send that information along to me. Just shout it loud enough and perhaps I'll hear. So that's all the announcements I've got. Let's go ahead and launch into the game. And here we are in the Ocil Wetlands. Tell you what, gorgeous map, isn't it? Let's go ahead and split that off and introduce both of our players. Here in the bottom right, we've got Taizan rocking mellow blue, and in the top right, we've got JaggedAppliance here with Angered Yellow. JaggedAppliance here, perhaps surprised by the map as well. I'm not sure I've seen this map before, but it certainly is a nice one, isn't it? And Taizan here thinking the same thing. Perhaps this is indeed a new map. I don't know the maps too well, but these players certainly also perhaps feeling the same thing. So, we've got Cybin here in the bottom left, starting off with land, and unsurprisingly, JaggedAppliance here in the top right, also rocking land. If you take a look at the build orders here, we've got JaggedAppliance here going for power, and then his mass, and then moving on from there, and it looks like JaggedAppliance here in the bottom left doing a very similar thing. Simply not queuing up things in advance. He is chilling out, and there he goes. Slightly slower than his opponent, JaggedAppliance, but overall probably not going to be not going to matter too much overall. And it looks like JaggedAppliance, was that JaggedAppliance? Yes, agreeing with me. This map doesn't look nice. As we just continue checking it out here, it looks like JaggedAppliance's hydrocarbon power plant is going to come up a little bit sooner. All those little tiny micro things that perhaps give you a couple seconds as you're going through the game, but I'll be honest, I'm not sure I could capitalize on it, but we'll see if that gets into play throughout the game. Looks like JaggedAppliance here already 9 mass ahead because he grabbed those mass points first, but very quickly coming up. And perhaps JaggedAppliance, making sure he knows precisely where his enemy is at, is going to be pinging him. I'm sure that'll be helpful for his teammates. Just kidding, there are none. They're all alone. Just in case you're wondering, in case we actually were in a 1v1 ladder match, we indeed are. And we'll just keep an eye on these guys as they continue to build, and as you can see here, the engineers are starting to climb out. It looks like Taizan here going for a little bit more early presence here, already grabbing his first mass point. That's going to give him a... not yet actually. It's tying him up with JaggedAppliance there. But soon, once he gets those other ones built up, he should have that mass advantage in there. But JaggedAppliance somehow already has 0.2k mass. And we can see these guys starting to spread out. So let's go ahead, split that map off, and go ahead and enable the minimap as we go ahead and watch the first little opening throws here. We're going to go ahead and speed things up here and just go ahead and watch the early game sprawl and see how these two players decide to approach things. We've got Taizan here, again continuing that slight early pressure here, getting his presence up on the map right away. And we can see here with the presence of a couple of assault bots, he is more than eager to start getting across there. But despite the fact that this map looks pretty tight and cramped, they do indeed have a bit of a walk there. So I'm not sure precisely if they're going to get anything done, but this is my waffling here. We'll see. And we've got an air scout here looking for targets, and that attack bomber coming to clean them up right afterwards. And we have an interceptor first for JaggedAppliance, so while that bomber is going to get some damage done, it shouldn't get too much. Except, of course, if this interceptor gets a good engagement, we'll simply have to find out. And it looks like that bomber claiming a kill right away. Excellent. We've got the commander moving out here in the bottom side, claiming this nice little chunk of mass and energy here. And similarly, JaggedAppliance doing the same. Looks like Taizan has indeed gotten a mass edge, but they should compensate for that pretty quickly. And we've got an air transport here, perhaps thinking he was loaded up with folks, but then realizing he was dry in the transport hold. So he's going to pick up some engineers and go back on his journey. That's kind of awkward to tell your friends, isn't it? Ha! I forgot my cargo. Hopefully he won't get fired over that. We have that little run by there with the assault bots finally coming through here, trying to just poke and prod, but he gets picked off there. Sadly, little done. And we can see the mass slowly starting to come back together again with a with a bit of an edge actually, with about 0.5k going over to Taizan's favor here. And so far things are looking pretty even on that front. We've got him established up with that base here, and JaggedAppliance set up his, but it looks like JaggedAppliance is going to be wasting no time and is going to be getting... If we're taking a look at the split here, actually, I'm not familiar quite with this map here, but it looks like the map might be split just off in this way, so it looks like he's claiming his proper side as things were, but Taizan here not doing likewise, so perhaps it's going to work in JaggedAppliance's favor. After all, map presence is everything in this game. Aha, but speaking of map presence here, it looks like we've got a little engagement building up right in that top right. Not quite enough units to make anything happen with the defenses we've got, but if they can run by, they can make some magic happen. But it looks like JaggedAppliance here going to cut them off, and he should be able to pick those guys off. If they just stayed right along the top, they might have gotten through, but JaggedAppliance's commander going to go ahead and pick them off, and that run by shall be a run not. Let's see here, we got that bomber trying to pick up units down here. Again, he does not have his presence there. Looks like he's going for early stealth actually, perhaps a little bit cautious about what might be getting scanned there. You know, Taizan's commander, he's a bit of a private fellow. He doesn't want to be scouted out, but we've got engineers here dropping down here, immediately throwing up some defense. Very smart decision here because we can see his commander coming in right there, but I don't think a single point defense is going to hold Taizan's commander back. If we take a look here, nothing going on. Yeah, we have Taizan's commander here ready to establish his presence there. We've got the point defense up now, but I'm not sure that's going to be enough to shoo him away. In fact, it's only just now getting in range. We can just see him just marching forward, bold as you like, and despite the fact that actually, hang on a second, ooh, look at that point defense come up. Let me tell you, that's probably going to be enough to shoo him away. Maybe, maybe not, never mind. I'm not giving Taizan enough credit here. He can just charge right on through here. Indeed, he even captured that point defense. How very cheeky. I might adopt that strategy. That's pretty clever. And here he is, claiming the side that is rightfully here. But we already have JaggedAppliance over on his half of the map. And by the way, have we looked at economy there? JaggedAppliance here at 130 max approximately, because 129 just costs like another syllable to say. Who needs to say that? And already jumping ahead as we speak. So JaggedAppliance here on the economy front, this extra forward base that he has had over Taizan definitely paying for itself, and we can see him getting a little cheeky. This is definitely going to get cleaned up pretty quickly, but not before taking at least a single mass extractor for their efforts. Come on, finish it off, guys. You can do it. Come on. Polish it off. Are they going to make it? No, they changed their priority target onto the units there and don't polish off that mass extractor. Always so very sad to see. Also, what a tiny little pond here that JaggedAppliance decided to take. We've got a cheeky little frigate here, ready to do some damage out in the world, just shooting at whatever he can, but sadly his guns just don't shoot far enough. Poor little guy, he wants to be more, but he can't. Bombers here, continuing from Taizan here. He just loves that bomber pressure. We got 4 kills on that guy, 1 kill on that guy, and we've got some shots going down indeed. Was that a point defense? It was. We've got ourselves a Cerberus turret here ready to poke and prod at any units that decide to get too close. So it looks like Taizan here trying to even up that map split there, and what is this going on? It looks like we've got missile launchers. Yeah, taking out those extra mass points in the back here from Taizan. You can see that just getting him further behind over JaggedAppliance, who's already 6k ahead. And let me tell you, it feels like that's just going to keep climbing. And sadly, this frigate here trying so hard to go ahead and make something happen with his life. Sadly, his guns do not shoot high enough over. And the Medusas here are having no problem with that. So this frigate here in his tiny little pond shall remain a tiny little fish, and a dead one at that. And we have the massive little engagement building up there, and not so much happening down there. So let's go ahead and just keep our eyes on this guy up here. Are they going to engage each other? Are they just going to chill? So far, JaggedAppliance is pretty content to sit there and take all that Medusa fire there. He does not have enough artillery up there to respond in kind, and you can see him just getting pushed back a little bit. So not quite the most effective tactical engagement for him. Those Medusas are definitely putting in the work there, but if he just backs up a little bit, he definitely has the defenses, I think, to hold that. And nothing else going on, let's just go ahead and push. But it looks like Taizan, perhaps agreeing with my assessment, has decided to back up because he's already taken out some units. And look at that cheeky little engineer there trying to claim up all the mass that he can and quickly taken out for his efforts. Greed does not pay, my friends. You see here that middle island that JaggedAppliance is mooching off of is getting taken out with that horde of bomber span. That, you know what, let's cut this down a little bit here. Things are starting to pick up a little bit. Taizan loves a throw. It looks like he's going for that power generator. Oh, so very close. 100 hit points left on that. If we take a look at what JaggedAppliance has, oh, look at that power income. My goodness, you wouldn't have been suffering for it, but it never helps to get your power taken out, that's for sure. And we can see the numbers growing with the existence of Pillar, T2 heavy tanks, and it looks like we've got rhinos there, but one tiny rhino is not going to be enough to hold up against that. They're pushing forward. Hang on a second, we've got an aerial engagement going down over here. Ooh, we've got, never mind, the aerial engagement got cleared off. It looks like JaggedAppliance has been stockpiling a massive number of forces, and that was enough to shoot him back. But hang on a second, speaking of Pillar tanks here, this little presence down here by Taizan, not well defended, and sudden surprise pillar attack here. I have a feeling, that's going to be so very close, but I don't think, is it? Oh, no. So very close to the water, but he just was a little bit too slow in getting that bottom section taken out there, and claiming that bottom section and setting up defenses like JaggedAppliance has done, and it sadly has cost him his life. If he had perhaps had some shields there, he might have held out, but it just was not meant to be. He reacted perhaps a little bit too slow. I'll be honest, I was reacting too slow watching him, so I can't blame him. And that surprise pillar assault took him out. So let's give a cheer for T2. Underrated, but powerful. And with that, JaggedAppliance takes the win over Taizan. A pretty close match overall, but JaggedAppliance just a little bit faster to establish the map presence in various in the critical sectors when it mattered, and it looks like that is what won him the game. And so, this has been an excellent match. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I have. This has been Alex Bites, and we are signing off. Until next time.